Nice now. Sound me on. Boom, check it out, people. There's no company general, the man himself, Daj, the lyrical assassin. And right now you're tuning into Power 95, the sound of the culture. Mad.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, agents for Western Union, and Beacon Insurance.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms. And celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
This is Likanati, Power 95, the sound of the culture.
10 years now you say you're getting a divorce. What's going on?
Darling, have patience now. It's coming. I'm telling you. Drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the place, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the side. She getting on. She won the wife position.
You that lead me on.
Side she getting on. She won the wife position.
You that lead me on.
She used to say she understand. She go hush him out and move to the program. Now she telling me feelings getting stronger. She don't like when wifey sitting in front my car. She want the man and the ring. Too much hiding. Time to make a decision. She want to be number one. Side she getting on. She want the wife position.
You that lead me on.
When they say side chick does get better treatment than wife.
She want the wife position.
You that lead me on.
I'm telling you.
Scandal in the place, drama in the place.
Drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the side. She getting on. She want the wife position.
10 years now you say you're getting a divorce.
Only morning. Good morning, Karine.
It's coming.
Good morning, Marianne, Christelle, Lisa. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Jacqueline Adams. Good morning, Karine. Shante. Good morning, Roseanne. Sonia. Good morning. Good morning, Ramos.
Side she getting on. She want the wife position.
Good morning, Red Pepsi. Listen. Good morning, Sanafina. Good morning, Cherry the Jab, DJ Jab Allen, Michelle. Good morning. How are you? Listen, that song wet. Good morning, Perrin. Good morning, Jeneline. Good morning, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I'm gonna message you when I'm through. All right. Good morning, G Eds. Good morning, Kizzy. Good morning, Alana. Next, Kizzy. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Maureen. Who else is here? Jaden, Fatima. Come inside the live and share it up, guys. Good morning, Phyllis. All the way from Aruba. Listen, I know about y'all, but the start of the song is all I like. That part here.
You say you're getting a divorce. What's going on?
Darling, have patience now. It's coming.
This part.
Drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the place, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the side. She getting on. She want the wife position.
Good morning, Darky. Good morning.
Side she getting on.
Morning, Queen Bee. I see partner like drama in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the place.
She used to say she understand. She go hush him out and move to the program.
Good morning, Nairobi.
Feelings getting stronger. She don't like when wifey sitting in front my car. She want the man and the ring. Too much hiding. Time to make a decision. She want to be number one. Side she getting on. She want the wife position.
You that lead me on.
Side she getting on. She want the wife position.
You that lead me on.
I'm telling you. Drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the place, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the
I gonna stop, Uncle.
She want the wife position.
Uncle have a story every year. What if you stop Elimus? Until the Elimus time to retire. Tell him matter all.
Lead me on.
Late in the night, she calling my house phone and cussing. She tired sleep alone. Them big tears she have with my ding-a-ling. She threatening me to show wifey everything. Complaining she feeling sick. You better pass money quick for the doctor appointment. Don't forget to pay the rent. Side she getting on. She want the wife position.
You that lead me on.
scandal in the place, drama in the place, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the side chick getting on. She want the wife position.
All you see is over then.
Side chick.
I want to the wisest
want the
official.
wife position.
You that
Let
leave
me
me
stop,
on.
Uncle. Uncle is our
Telling
boss.
you, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the place, drama in the place, scandal in the place, scandal in the place, drama in the. She want the man and the ring, but she family cussing. Specky only using you, you deserve better. Side chick getting on, she want the wife position.
You that leave me
When they say side chick does get better,
Side chick getting on.
let me talk. I thought they said side chick does get better treatment than wife. So why side chick fighting to be wife? And side chick does have to do no hard work. They ain't have to cook, wash, and clean, and they reaping benefits. Is that what they say? When you fight it up for position for, and then somebody taking your place again.
Side chick getting on, she want the wife position.
You that leave me on.
Pepsi, I was about to say that you took the words out of my mouth. The way Uncle Cheap, side chick telling the wife everything, and Uncle still ain't giving her nothing to hush. Anyway, life was cheap there.
You that leave me
Listen,
on.
life was rather break up your whole living than pay anybody to hush.
She want the wife position.
You that leave me on.
Pastor Bay, good morning. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, Shauna, Dakota. Good to have you guys on the inside. Good morning, Trey. You guys coming in. So we have another situation, and of course, this is the final week we're doing it like this. Good morning, Zavid. Next week we'll be dealing with the artists, getting up close and personal, the music side of them,
You that leave
the
me on.
personal side of them, because we see a lot of these artists and we don't really know them apart from their songs, right? We don't know what they do on a daily, their take on relationship, family, marriage, children. So we want to do that. Bring them in the room. Yeah? Then we find out what's going on with them. And nothing to be scared about. Somebody tell me they're afraid. I'm like, afraid of what? We ain't like putting you out there. You could always say no comment. You don't have to respond if you don't want to. If you don't have a take on a particular question, you don't have to respond to it. But let's make it fun, We just want to come and sit and talk, how long you singing? What is your first song? No. We want to make the thing exciting. Yeah, let's get to know you guys apart from what we see on stage. We wanna find out more, your take on things. Because I know you guys are tuned in to the side to the ladies' room, and you hear the stories, you hear the situations and the scenarios. Ramos, as a matter of fact, Eli starting it off on Monday. So Eli told me yesterday if he can start on to take no part.
You that leave me on.
Eli must have a real plucky, as if Eli must come in and pay for this. Eli must getting a whole 20-30 minutes. And I must want to dictate what he wants, I must tell me if he can start, he don't finish in. So I'm like, all right, Papa. So we'll start with Elimus. So Elimus will be here on, so that's going to be hilarious. I haven't even asked a question yet and I'm already laughing. So looking forward to that, yeah? So we're going to have the artists in studio, men as well as women, the female artists. Like you said, it's a ladies' room, we usually do the female artists, but there isn't enough to cover 6 weeks, So we're gonna bring the men in the room, and you come in and promote with show for free. Ramos, you forget who you talking to. The minutes Eli start promoting show for free, Eli's getting cut off. Eli will be talking and he mic on mute, and he figure he going out and nothing going out. Promote show for free way. When the month and you feel like you want to tell boss free show pay me, you mad? That doesn't make joke for my salary, Papa. You ain't no free show around here. I don't pay for everything you're getting. A time and free, You feel like I go and tell the bank and the amount I give was free and blight so I can't pay my loan? You mad? Free? You know what they say after freeness? And I ain't have what they say after freeness. So ain't no freeness here. So you gotta pay for everything. You ain't coming on promote show for free. Nothing so. Good morning, Samuel. How are thou? Sam Jim, good morning. Good morning, Nisha. Good morning, Wendy Samuel. So we have another situation. Like I always say, after God is people business. So this one is a sort of I don't know. It's like, to me, some things are cut and dry. So oftentimes I don't know why people need I don't know why some people like need advice for some things that are so clear, but I think it's because you already know what to do, but you just want to hear somebody else's take. And sometimes you want to leave, but you just want one person to say, hey, hold strain, steady and fight up, jam still, don't move. And out of, if you have 100 responses, right, you would ignore the 99 other responses telling you to run for the hills. And you will take the one that says to stay and make it up with your man or your woman and fight up and struggle. At some point, I think we need to get to a place where we stop making struggle love seem like it's a good thing. Why should you have to struggle to be loved? Why should you have to struggle to have a good relationship? I'm not doing that struggle thingy anymore. I think we've accepted that for too long and making it seem like it's a badge of honor and you should be proud of having a toxic relationship where you're struggling, where you always, arguing and fighting. And we need to stop, making struggle love a thing. Stop glorifying struggle love. There are a lot of relationships that, yeah, of course, you have your little ups and downs, your little here and there moments, but it's not a point where every day is some sort of confusion, where this Confucius spirit resides in your relationship. Teach and tell will meet. Everybody, we see things differently. We're going to fall out now and again, but it's not what we do, it's how we do it. We don't go disrespecting each other and cursing each other out because we have a difference of opinion or we feel differently about different things. So we need to stop, making struggle love seem like it's a good thing. It seems to be ingrained in us that if you don't struggle for love, you don't fight for love, you're not seeing trouble for love, it's not worth it. But why? Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we communicate? Why can't we, put cards on the table and say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I expect, this is what I don't expect. And everybody, and then we work on ourselves, and then that way we're able to gel better. I'm not doing this. Yeah, we need to normalize leaving situations that no longer serve us, that is no longer good or healthy for us, instead of trying to, excuse it and, make it seem like it's a good thing. It is not. It is not. As Pepsi says, people love toxic and negative behaviors in their lives. It is not. Stop normalizing that ish. It is not. And sometimes it usually takes us a while to get to a place where you're like, you know what? When you look back and sort of some of the things that you settled for in the name of love, that wasn't love. Because there's no way you will let somebody continuously hurt and disrespect you and call that love. There's too many things we put under that love umbrella that does not fit, that you need to kick out in the rain. Normalize getting out at the first sign that it's not working out. You don't need 415 signs. You don't need somebody to stamp on your forehead, it is not working out. You're there, you're seeing it, you're feeling it. You're not happy. Normalize getting up and bouncing and stop stressing about what people will say and they say and he and she and whatever. And the same day and he and she struggling for themselves and they just can't find the strength to get up and leave for themselves. We need to stop normalizing it. Self-love and healing is something that we all need, and we need to work on ourselves more, and stop glorifying struggle love. Not every relationship needs to be one of strife and conflict and confusion and arguing constantly, and sometimes the signs are blatant because, for example, this situation right here, there's no way you would give somebody like this there's no way you'll give somebody like this a second chance. And for those of you who have not had the opportunity to check on my page to see it, let me just read it out for you what this person sent me. Hold a sec, let me just load these. Yeah. Let me go back. How did I get there? Side chick getting on. She want the right position. Yeah. Someone says, and another best friend again. I wish we could normalize speaking our truth. If you're in a situation, I wish we would normalize, because it's not like we publish their names. And one thing, folks have sent me their situations can say they've never heard Tom, Jill, or whoever saying, well, I sent in my situation to Aruna and she told this person or that person, I'm the one who sent it. I don't do that. Yeah, so I wish we would normalize living our truth. You have a situation. This is my situation. Can your room help me with it? Can you give me some advice? This is a safe place. We don't go around broadcasting or publishing who sent what. Your privacy is very important. So let's normalize speaking our truth. Instead of for everybody have a friend that have. I have good friends and I don't know all these stories. But anyways, on behalf of your friend. She recently miscarried her first child and she wanted to try for another child, hoping to fill the void, but her boyfriend did not give the happy feedback as when they found out they were expecting their first child. She hasn't fully gotten closure from it because she talks about losing a child as a first time mom being very hard and he wasn't supporting her emotionally as she would like. She will She wants to hang out with him sometimes, but his friends get priority over her, even if it's just for a day. His family also makes, some kind of remarks to her to make her feel she shouldn't have another child again, and could also be the reason he's making excuses to not try again. So she broke up with him after not being able to handle the overwhelming thoughts and feelings. And then he begged her to work things out, and she did. He started doing, the thoughtful things, how it goes. You'll be on the straight and narrow for a week, 2, 3 max, and then you're back to your old ways because you weren't sincere. It wasn't coming from inside. You weren't doing it because you wanted to. You were doing it because that's what the other person wanted you to do. So that don't last. It really don't. And sooner or later you revert to your ways. Anyways, he started doing, the thoughtful things, but after some time she felt he wasn't up for being in a relationship like he said. And I figure she wants to leave him for good, but probably waiting for some kind of sign. I write this so she can see others' advice or someone that's been through similar can help her out. Boy, if you're in the kitchen and you're not feeling the heat, I don't know how I could stay outside and make you feel it. Because if you're saying you went through all of that, went through a miscarriage, and that's not an easy thing, expecting a baby and then you lose a baby, that can really mess you up. And some people often require therapy and all sorts of things to deal with it and support, especially from your partner. Now, if that person wasn't even giving you that sort of support and you want to try again and they're saying to you you're not getting the feedback that you got when you announced the first pregnancy, you're not getting it this time around. That right there is all the signs you need. That homeboy probably felt like he dodged the bullets. I don't want to be harsh or be insensitive, but probably might have to look at it that way. Maybe he wasn't even ready then, and maybe he's still internalizing it himself because women aren't the only ones who deal with, you're the one who carried the baby and you're more in tune and all of that. But, preparing yourself to be a first-time father and, not working out, that too could also mess up your psyche, and maybe he doesn't want to deal with that again, the expectations. Probably he was preparing himself to be a father, first-time father, and then that happened. So maybe he is also fearful that it could happen again, and he doesn't want to deal with it. So there's a lot of ways you can look at it. So it's not fair only to think that the woman is the one going through, whatever feelings and emotions because you lost a baby. That guy, he was also part of the picture, and he probably was, probably felt away. Maybe, because men don't really express themselves like that, and like I was saying yesterday, it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to express yourself. You have blood flowing through your veins like everybody else. There's no need to always be rough and gruff and macho all the time. It's completely okay to be vulnerable, to show your soft side. You're affected by the way the loss of your child. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you expressing that and saying to her, if that's what it is, hey, we just lost a baby and mentally I'm not there yet. I'm not ready yet. Maybe we should give it some more time. A couple months down the road, let's revisit it again and see how I feel. But you're not the only one. Maybe he's also affected. So you can't just be thinking, okay, you want another baby immediately. He doesn't want to, based on what transpired, and probably him not wanting to go through that again. So that is why I say communication is so very important. And sometimes we play down, we don't play the importance of communicating exactly how we feel. Nobody can kill you for feeling how you feel. It is your feelings. But when you don't say anything, you stay silent and you're left to make assumptions. Sometimes you assume wrong, and that leads to more problems. But if people were to just say how they felt at all times, this is what I'm going through, this is what I don't like about the situation, I'm not ready yet, instead of just distancing yourself or going quiet, how does that help the situation? Now you're there creating scenarios in your head as to why this person is behaving that way. And sometimes it's not even that. But if you only want to say, listen, I just need some time, I need a little space to internalize this, to deal with this. It's not you, it's just, I need to process this. I just need a break for a minute. That is totally understandable. And you're just completely shutting down and distancing yourself and leaving the person to wonder what's going on, what's happening here. Why am I not getting the feedback like I got the first time when I announced I was pregnant? Just explain to the lady that you're not ready. You're still, going through the process of losing the child. So you're not in that headspace yet to have another one. Yeah. Plus, you yourself haven't even gotten full closure. So it's about replacing. It's like you're trying to cover up a wound, just put the bandage on it and hope that it goes away without, making sure you clean it and everything and it's not infected and all of that. So you probably still need some time to heal yourself before thinking about doing that as well, But if you guys decided to call it quits and you weren't feeling all that, plus you're getting pressure from his family, why go back in the situation? Because somebody say, hey, I've changed and I'm willing to work on it again. So you immediately throw all the other issues you had out the door and let's just work on it again. Listen, sometimes we are given signs and things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in things happening for a reason. It may not be the reason you like. You may not be happy about the reason, but sometimes it really does. And if you got the opportunity to walk away and you felt this person wasn't there for you emotionally, they weren't supporting you, also felt like their family was on your back, why go back to that place though? Someone says maybe she wants to be like the disciple and want to see Jesus walk on water before she believes the reality of her situation. Ramos says not all men are outspoken and say how they feel because society has painted men to be hard and not show their soft side. And that's why I'm saying there's a lot of learned behaviors, Ramos, that we have to unlearn. There's a lot of things that we thought was the right way and it's not. I am so, I really like when a man can be vulnerable and doesn't have to be macho all the time. To me, it's like, to me, they say that's a weak sign, but to me, that is a show of strength. That you can be strong when you need to, and you can show that I can be weak and vulnerable too. To me, that shows that you are human and in touch with yourself. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. There's nothing wrong with, with showing your soft side, with being vulnerable. I mean, not everything you're going to break down and cry and whatnot for, but a situation like this, it is okay for you to say, hey, I am also affected by this, and it's not only you. Yes, I know you were the one carrying the baby, but at the same time, I have a connection as well. And, I'm just not, in that place and that headspace, Samuel says women don't know how much these things affect us. Well, we would not know, Samuel, if you all don't say. That is my point. The same way men say women expect to read minds is the same way you all behave. Like we're supposed to know how you're feeling. If it is affecting you, that is the point I'm making. Speak. Open your mouth and speak. Say what's affecting you. Say how it's affecting you. Say what's on your mind. But don't just shut down and you want to be out with the boys every night and I have to figure out why you're doing that, why you're operating that way, why you're disconnected. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Sarika says, girl, just leave. There's enough signs right in front of you. You will just keep doing that out. Once the respect is gone, it's gone. He will just keep lying to you about wanting to work things out and he's not genuine about it. Ramos, again, we all have to learn unlearn some behaviors that we learned, things that we saw our parents did or family did and thought it was the right way to do. Now that we're more open to information, now that we have information at our fingertips, we can change if we want to. And not because society says as a man you're not supposed to show feelings, it means you have to. Society ain't right. Society ain't the one in your relationship. Open communication, be a team in everything, share your innermost feelings and be respectful. That's it. That is it. It's not as hard as we make it out to be. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I know there's a fear of being, like you have to walk around eggshells on a person. If I'm dealing with you and I have to walk on eggshells around you, then we have a problem. You should be able to communicate freely. I should be able to communicate freely. We should both be able to express ourselves without the other one getting offended or thinking it's a direct attack on you or your sensibilities. Or it's not an attack. We are on the same page. We're on the same team. We're working towards the same goal. It is the intention to make this better, to make this work. Pepsi says some females get vexed when you actually start speaking your mind, especially if you're not saying what they want to hear. Then there goes the immaturity. Then that goes to show that person is not on a mature level. And because somebody's of a certain age doesn't mean they're mature either. I've met some really immature people at different ages and stages. Experiences and different things brings out maturity or lack of in a lot of people. So it ain't nothing to do with age. And you're right about that. So if you're dealing with somebody that you have to always tell them what they want to hear or need to hear, then that already is a huge red flag. You should be able to express yourself freely, like I said, without anybody getting offended or feeling a type of way or feeling attacked or taking it personal. It ain't personal. It's not supposed to be personal. The whole intent is to better what we have, to let what we have grow and develop. Cheryl says, talk with him again before you make your decision because you both might still be sore. I think we often, dismiss the idea of therapy and counseling and all those things. And again, I keep saying to people, therapy and counseling works. You might think you have all the answers and you're able to diagnose yourself and fix yourself. But believe in the power of speaking to somebody, letting out everything without fear of being judged or anything. And getting that person, because that person, they don't know you from Adams. They don't know you from anywhere. So they can be open and tell you exactly what it is and how they see it looking in a situation. And they'll bring perspectives that you never thought of yourself. Stop seeing therapy as something for crazy or mentally disturbed people. No, it is not. The best person you can talk to is someone who don't know you, does not have any stake in the matter, who can just be open and frank with you on a situation while you express yourself. Sanafina said he probably wasn't ready for a child, but it happened, so he stepped up, and now that things change, he just don't want to go back there. Maybe not the right time for him. As you said, he probably thinks he dodged a bullet, so he wants to be prepared for the next time. He actually wants one. Was a question asked if he wants to have a child with her again, though. That's a conversation to visit. And maybe the first time it happened, it wasn't even planned, because a lot of the times, people swap spit, you have sex, and before you know it, hey, pee on a stick, I'm pregnant. It's not something a lot of people plan. It's just having sex and it happens. So maybe he wasn't even ready then, but it happened, and he probably just had to man up and say, you know what, well, it happened already, so let me take my responsibility seriously and do what I have to do. A lot of the times people aren't prepared. A lot of the times it's not something you're going to eyes wide open saying, okay, we're going to get pregnant in the next year or two or the next 5 or 6 months. We're going to try to have a baby. A lot of the times it don't happen that way. People just have sex and, hey, I'm pregnant. So maybe he just doesn't want to go back there just yet. Let me hear what this person's saying.
I find the young lady should just take a break from the relationship, get to know God better, sort out herself before she ever think going back in a relationship, before she ever think going back in a relationship. Sort out yourself first.
Someone says, good morning, Aruna. One time I thought I was the main chick. Next thing is side position I had. Tino Grenade good. Happened to all of us, Papa. Someone says, people experience and heal from losses differently. Ask Keith, watch. Listen. Don't. You see the confusion spirit you're talking about all you have? All you just like confusion. Look, we have a nice little bonding and healing moment going on. Y'all have to bring... I swear, y'all thrive on being petty. Anywho's, this person says people... people experience and heal from losses differently. Ask Keith. Everyone have different expectations. Third-party mediation seems necessary to ensure all expectations are on the table, after which you can decide if this was worth staying for. I don't know what's going on. I think it's probably the network probably have issues, but I got it. We all deal with losses differently. Some hurt, some like, oh well, shrug off, dust on and move again. This person was saying, I was just about to say that. Society really bash men for being vulnerable. So take Uncle Will, for example. Case in point, listen, they stripped, they dressed, they undressed Will Smith. They dragged him. They called him all the names in the book because the man decided to be vulnerable and sensitive and open about how he felt. Yeah, no, for real. And I'm sure men looking on saw that, they'd be like, okay, that's what you're doing, Uncle Will. Let me step back and deal with my thing for myself. Because if you were to look at it, right, if you were to look at the stats regarding, men and women who deals with pressure and stuff like that more, and who more inclined to commit suicide, etc., just do a Google search and you'll see that men far outnumber women when it comes to that. Because the thing is, women, we often have a little village around us. We can talk to our aunt, we can talk to our mom, we can talk to our sister, we can talk to a best friend. There's always somebody we can talk to. And we would not be, dragged or, you have somebody who could give feedback. Men, on the other hand, yes, they have their boys, but it's basically to old talk and knock some dominoes or drink a rum or hang out somewhere. It's not necessarily, they'll talk to the boys maybe on the surface of what's going on, but they don't really go in depth with what's really happening at home. And, oh boy, I need somebody to talk to. This is what I'm feeling. Okay, my girl lost a baby and lost our baby, had a miscarriage. And, this is really hurting me because I was really prepared. I was really looking forward to being a father. And, instead, he wouldn't say a word. He'll just remain silent throughout the whole thing and hope that he gets over it at some point by either drowning himself in alcohol, drinking rum for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, hanging out, not wanting to sit and be still and think about it and talk about it. So there's a lot of things that society, says men ought to do, but they really ought not to do it. They really ought not to do it. Which one I was reading? Yeah, society really bash men for being vulnerable. Take Uncle Will, for example. And I have experienced people bashing men firsthand. Our parents also taught boys to never show emotions because women need to create the space for men to be open and men to have to start opening their minds to being open about their emotions. You'd hear men, and you would see they would beat your boys. Your girl could scream down the place, roll on the ground, bawl. And as soon as you beat your boy, what are you crying for? Big boys don't cry. Suck it up. And he's there now, and sucking it up and learning from that age to not show any emotions. When you beat a child, make a child cry, feeling the hurt and the pain, and you're going to say to him, what you crying for? Boys don't cry. And if you want to be a big boy, don't cry. So it's a lot of learned behaviors, as I keep saying, that we have to unlearn. And unless we do that, we'll just be spinning top in mud. We won't be going anywhere. We're continuously having these situations and these conversations until we get to a point where we can, let people express themselves, regardless of what it is. Allow your child to express him or herself. Instead of shutting them down, instead of telling them to internalize it, to hush, Because that's what you're teaching them from that age. That I ought not to show any emotions, that I ought not to be sensitive, that I ought not to cry, even though I'm pained, even though I'm hurt about a situation. And then what they do when they can't deal with it anymore? You read about it in the newspaper. So and so was found hanging, so and so died by this, so and so died by that. Suicidal death. We all have to remember we all grew up in a society where self-care therapy and self-love was not normal, so we need to be mindful of this, and it takes time, especially for us to acknowledge and accept. Totally agree, Petra, but we have to start somewhere. We can't just keep using and making the same excuses, or that's how we grew up, or that's what we know. At some point, you have to stop and take stock of your life, especially when you see that it's always that you can't hold on to a relationship that is meaningful, that is not toxic, that is not filled with confusion. At some point, you have to stop and say, okay, what is my part in this? What is the role I'm playing? How am I contributing to the demise of my relationship? What am I doing wrong? And if you can't figure it out, that is why I'm suggesting getting therapy, speaking to somebody, a trained professional, a counselor, who can help guide you so you can unlearn some of the things that you thought was what it's supposed to be. Let's normalize therapy. Let's normalize speaking to counselors and not make it seem like you have to be mental or you disturbed or you have to be crazy or something to get to seek counseling. We really have to, because like I said, and they say Ramos says the reason for that, a lot of men go with it and talk all over the place, so you have to be careful who you're talking to. That again, confidentiality is another issue. That's why I rather speak to a stranger. That is a big issue on a small island. Listen, that is a big issue. And I found out the hard way. You'll be speaking to somebody and they'll be like, you're feeling free to open up to them, especially on this thing called WhatsApp. While you're talking, these people are busy screenshotting and forwarding your conversations, and the whole marriage and parish know what you're going through before you're even done speaking on it. So you have to be careful again who you open up to. You can't just open up to every and anybody. Not everybody you knock around with means you can speak to them about certain things. That is why I'm recommending and suggesting speaking to a therapist or a counselor, because they don't have a choice but to be confidential. It is their oath. They have to be. You can't go discuss something with them and they can't go discuss it with their other half or their friend or what have you. That is a serious breach. So that is a safe place. Because you know how it is. People aren't trustworthy. You go to someone with the best of intentions thinking that, hey, we're cool, I can speak to you about anything. And twos, your business up the road getting rinsed. Before you even hang up the phone, your business up the road. So that is another thing why people don't say much. They keep their business to themselves. Because people don't know when it's time and place. They don't know that certain things aren't meant to be shared with everyone. If that was the case, I'll go on Facebook, make a status for the entire 5,000 plus and another 10,000 plus followers that I have. But if I'm coming to you, it should be between me and you. And I can always say, if I'm dealing with somebody and I constantly have to say to them, don't tell nobody, that right there is a red flag. That should be automatic. If I speak to you on something personal, I should not have to say to you, hey, don't tell nobody, yeah? No. That should go without saying. It should be confidential. I'm speaking to you. Something personal is not for the world. It's not for you and your other little friends. Whatever I say to you, let it stay here. Stop screenshotting and adding people's conversations to your little group chats. That's not their business. So that's why a lot of people want to open up, but they can't. Their fear of their business being out on the street is what makes people really stop and don't see anything. Say rum shop, barber shop, nail salon, hair salon, you name it. And it's like people don't care. Listen, I've been in many nail shops and heard conversations about people. And it's like people don't care who's sitting in the chair. They don't know who. They're just sitting there having conversation. The minute time you get up off the chair, guess who's the topic? You're sitting in the chair, nobody pays you any mind. It's like a game of musical chairs. As soon as you get up and somebody sit down, the person who got up, you now become the topic. And that's how it goes, like a revolving door. As soon as you get up, as soon as you walk out, you're the topic. And some people say, well, you didn't tell me not to tell anyone else. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you not to tell anybody else. That should go without saying. That should be a given. I don't have to tell you, don't tell nobody that. And like I said, if that I have to do that, then it's a red flag that I don't have to tell you anything. Anyways, let's see if I can take one more before we go. Wayne, what's going on with you?
I just reached. What's the topic today?
Yeah, where you go, Mods? Wayne, go on Facebook. Sheena, that's why I don't go there. I quickly found myself another place to go. When you're late, I ain't gonna go on my page and read what I post today. I know where you come on this hour today about somebody just sent me a next discussion. Listen, they're coming in fast and furious. Anyways, guys, I think that's all the time we have. They say be careful who you vent to because vents lead to other rooms. I like that. I really like that. I'm gonna take that. Be careful who you vent to because vents lead to other room. Yeah, that is a true saying. Be careful who you vent to. Yeah, that's a good saying. Anyways, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow for the final one for the week. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in and just adding your voice to the conversation. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Jackie, I wanted to do something for Carnival. It'd have been nice to meet up with everybody. Been saying this for the longest while. Have a ladies' room meet and greet. Sort of connection. I'm sure I can get permission from management to do it here. But I'll let you bring all your drinks. Don't come in with all your two hands swinging, behaving like Mr. Bud. No. You could probably do something. Jacqueline, get on it and let me know. Jacqueline, when you're coming, by the way, matter of fact, he doesn't want people to know when you're coming because they're afraid people break your load. All it does is protect all your 50 pounds bad and just appear. They were real bad for all your 50 pounds, boy. What? He doesn't even tell people when they come in, you know. Yeah, Kizzy. Let's work on it. Let's work on it. Everybody that's gonna be here for Carnival out there or anybody who's here, we can make it happen. You know, there are some people who are here every single day. But Zoom, you know, Zooming live and in person. Anyways, let's work on it. Let's work on it, guys. Let's work on that meetup. All right. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, God's will, for another show.
Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, agents for Western Union, and Beacon Insurance.
We plan for every major life event, from birth